Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Radio Show on We Are Hotline. And we wish you an incredible morning, and we know it's going to be a productive day for everybody. And thank you for tuning in for some more transformational stories. We have a fantastic gentleman on the line with us today. He's a real estate professional with RE/MAX Realty out of Toronto. Please welcome David Gharat to the show. How are you doing today, David?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for inviting me over for the show. It's a pleasure. It's an honor, Nikki.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your wealth of information with us. And let's get to it. I'm excited to know about your beginnings. Can you share with us a little bit about your background leading up to what you're doing today?
Yeah, excellent. In fact, my background has always been in business. I come from a business family myself. Mm-hmm. I've been in sales and marketing. I've owned businesses. I'm an entrepreneur for the past 29 years, actually running on to 30 years now. Yeah, I know, so it's been a long time. Mm-hmm. And it's a very strange, the way I got into real estate is through business, and I believe that business is real estate and real estate is business, both. Mm-hmm. So, and that's where my expertise comes in terms of real estate sales, selling and buying and working with investors. So I worked with many previous investors, and that's what my background is basically in a nutshell.
Fantastic. And so you've had all this time to build your empire in business, and I'm sure your business contacts and your network has grown through the exponential value of being connected with so many people. But let me ask you a question about the business of real estate. Does age and diversity play a huge role in gaining a higher value for someone buying a home?
Absolutely. In fact, diversity comes and experience are the two main ingredients of real estate sales, and even selecting a real estate agent, or basically hiring an agent to work for you. Mm-hmm. Diversity, as for myself, I come from different backgrounds. Not that is that important, but it is something which plays a huge role in sales. Mm-hmm. Having traveled the world, having a background in business, lived in different parts of the globe. My father was an architect, so we traveled a lot, and we lived in different countries. So that plays a huge role in connecting with buyers, investors, per se, and it helps. It hugely helps in understanding a investor's goal, or buying trends, or buying methods, or selling methods. So it is very important to be diverse. Definitely important. It's the way diversity connects with other diversities. Mm-hmm. Now, having said that, we are in Toronto, and Toronto has hugely diverse, which it's lovely. I love being here. Multicultural, diverse. So I connect with a huge audience, actually. In fact, in my sales and in my real estate.
Fantastic. And some of your connections are investors and high-profile local and foreign buyers. Can you talk about them?
Yes. In fact, with the investors, we have many. I have my own network of connections, plus we have a network of other realtors we connect with, who have their connections with investors. Now, that being said, they are high-profile local investors, buyers, mm-hmm. and also we vastly connect with foreign investors coming in from different parts of the globe. Now, predominantly in Toronto, the trend is from Asia, which is Hong Kong, China. There are a lot of many huge high-profile investors coming in, so we connect with them. And what gives us an edge about the other realtors is that when they come in, they purchase a property for investment purposes, and we actually sell it at a higher value than the market value, higher value, which is in the which sells for locally. So that's a plus, definitely a plus point towards the seller. because they gain a lot. They gain a huge value on their property, especially if you're downsizing.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay, that's profound. I'm thinking too about the sellers and how they perceive buying a home and selling a home. Can you talk about the difference of when sellers work with a team versus an experienced individual realtor?
Good question. What's happening in Toronto these days, and it's been happening all over, but predominantly we speak about Toronto, is that we have all these realtors, so-called high-profile realtors. Okay, they are realtors. They've been in business for a long time. We all respect them, and out of due respect, though. We have all these boards and signages all over the place. Now, the way this works is there's a couple of things which work is there are teams. There are huge teams of certain high-profile realtors consisting of 30, 40, maybe probably more realtors working for them. Now, the way this works is the signage goes out under the team leader, who is the main realtor, you see, as a high-profile realtor. But the main part, the transaction, which is being handled between the seller and the buyer or whomsoever or the investor, is undertaken by one of the team members. Now, team members could be, and most of the time, are out of school, out of college, OREA college, or the real estate college, new realtors. So having said that, basically, the bottom line here is you are, at the end of the day, handing out your sale of your home, which you've taken care of, you've owned for many, many, many years and looking for a higher value, to a new realtor under the banner of the so-called the high-profile realtor. So basically, you're getting the expertise of a new realtor rather than a experienced realtor, if you know what I'm getting at. So
Sure.
Yeah, so that's the main reason with me and realtors like myself, and I speak about myself here, is you get me with a personal connection going out to you and meeting with you, handling all your questions, and basically being there from pre-sales to post-sales. Because I am a group myself, we have many individuals and companies we connect with and network with and refer to. So our transition from pre-sales to post-sales, we make it as easy and comfortable as possible. So you get me personally speaking with you, like I'm speaking right now, not my team member or not my assistant or whomsoever.
Yes.
So that's the huge difference right there between a personal connection and working under a team, under some big banner, which is at the end of the day, you're not even receiving that kind of expertise.
Right. And it's great to have that personal touch because I would assume, when someone is working with you and when you're you're looking for a seller or a buyer, you need to have that rapport to have trust in that relationship.
Absolutely correct. It's the trust which counts. It's the person whom you're connecting with or dealing with or having the person make the deal for you. Because a home is the largest purchase, they say, in your lifetime. The second purchase is your car, basically. The first is your home. Anyone that's your largest purchase you'll ever make in your life, and that has to be handled carefully, with respect, with due diligence. So having a personal connection, any questions which pop up, and there are definitely questions which pop up when selling a home, and we completely understand that there are questions. You can call me at midnight, and I've actually had this scenario that my sellers call me at midnight and say, "Hey, David, I have a question for you." And I say, "Okay, go ahead. Ask me that question," because questions pop up any time of the day or night.
Sure. And like you said, when you're taking on this huge commitment of owning a home, you want to make sure you're taking the right steps. But sometimes you get that cold feet, and you need the reassurance of a trusted real estate professional like yourself to answer those questions correctly. So it's great to have that kind of accessibility like you have for your clients.
Absolutely. And being an SRES myself, which is a senior real estate specialist, I have a designation. I work with the over 50 plus demographic as well, 50 plus
Okay.
and seniors demographic. I'm educated to work with them. Now, specifically in that demographic, an individual has probably, or most of the time, I should say 99% of the time, owned their property for 30, 40, almost 45 years.
Wow.
Now, selling a property from buying a property 45 years ago to now is a totally, completely different scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely have questions. They want reassurances. They want understanding, and that is where I come in as you can hold my hand and I'll walk you through and make the sale comfortable as possible and the transition comfortable as possible. And that's where the
Beautiful.
expertise, the people person, the diversity comes in.
Excellent.
Well.
Now, you know what? I look around and I see in Toronto construction everywhere, which to me is a wonderful thing because that means that investment is going on. People are moving into Toronto as a base for their homes, and things are happening. The economy is moving. So if Toronto now is a hot place to invest and in purchase, can you tell me a little bit about some of the things we can do to start investing in Toronto?
Yes, investors. Because myself, I come from an investor family. I myself am an investor. I have a couple of properties up in Burlington and different other investments. So working with an investor like me who is in the game, I should say, helps a lot because I come up with ideas. And now with Toronto growing so fast, with the new immigrant influx coming in, the population has grown. Like I said earlier, it's diversity, it's the growth, the business, and Toronto is now actually compared to New York, basically, if you really go to see, in terms of condo sales, in terms of property prices, it's getting closer to New York. Mm-hmm. So it is. So investing in Toronto at present is one of the best things you can do. And having said that, investment in property, in land, is the best thing you can ever do in your lifetime, because land does not depreciate, it grows. Wow. And we are always shortage of land any place. The population is growing in the world, especially in Toronto, and land is the most valuable item or thing you can have in your possession or own. So I would say if you're thinking of investing, call us, get an idea, sit with us, and get a proper consultation or answers to what you're investing in, and we'll show you the right proper method to go through. Either it could be condos, it could be houses, or you're thinking of buying a rental property to rent out, which is one of the great ideas, and anything else you want to invest in towards land. So speak to us on that.
Fantastic. You know, I have a question about the new proposed foreign buyer tax. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely. I was actually going to get to that. And, in fact, they are proposing this buyer tax, they have been proposing since the Vancouver tax, which happened about a year ago. Now, we as realtors, we've been pressuring the government not to have that tax. Now, look at it this way. Toronto is built on investments. The hotels here are mostly investors, foreign investors. The condos which are being built here are purchased by foreign investors. The money which is coming in is through foreign investors and, of course, local buyers as well. So suppose hypothetically this tax is imposed. What good is it going to do for the economy? What we are going to see is a slowdown in investors coming to Toronto. They are trying to calculate and getting scared of investing in Toronto because of this tax. And we are going to see a lower or decline in numbers of sales in properties, and that is going to lower the sales and the economy of Toronto. Why? Because investment creates job opportunities. the condos which are growing right now, there are 65 in total right now, somewhere around 65 being built in the city itself. Now, to build those, we require manpower, of course. We require labor to build those. If we stop building those, now we see job losses there, right there. And you see all the crowd in downtown. Why is that crowd happening? Because of the condos, because of the new built condos in downtown in Toronto. And that is why we are seeing all the tourists come in, the economy growing. So we stop all that. We start imposing taxes on our foreign buyers. It is just going to create a decline in economy. And do we really need that? No, we want to grow. Toronto is growing. It's actually on the map for one of the highest sales of condos. So do we need to get off the map now? So that's the question to be asked.
Right. I think that's a really great point. And I was just thinking of like a scenario. If you have a difference of 0.025, say difference in commission, and you're deciding over a novice realtor and losing money rather than an experienced realtor who has a higher value of expertise for your home, who are you going to choose? What's the better math?
Yes, that's another excellent question, because as a realtor, and any realtor would go out there and say, hey, you know what? I didn't get that property, or I didn't get that list because they chose another realtor because the other realtor gave them a smaller or a lower commission. Mm-hmm. It is never on the commission. It is on the personality. It's about the realtor themselves. Now, saving a 0.25 on a $500,000 home could make a difference of maybe $4,000 to $5,000. Okay. Now, as opposed to you getting a $20,000 or $30,000 extra from an experienced realtor who have their standards, who have connections, and they can bring you a higher value. So, would you want to lose $20,000, or gain $4,000 and then lose $20,000? So, what is basically the math does not equate, because choosing a realtor for just because the person gave you or the realtor gave you a 0.25 lower commission, it does not go that way. It's just the way the work is being done by the realtor. So that value counts to a realtor. So it's very important to select a realtor based on not on their commission rate, but on their personality, what value they bring to you.
Excellent. I've learned so much in this time with you, and I know that the audience, people who have been listening internationally are just blessed from this information. So how can they connect with you if they have more questions, or if they want to connect with you as someone to help them in their purchasing or selling of their homes? Where can they find you, David?
Sure. I'm in Toronto. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. My phone number, you can always give me a call. Here in Toronto, we say give me a shout back. It's 416-729-2333. That's 416-729-2333. This is my direct number. And my website address is housecondopro.com. That's housecondopro, all one word, pro.com. That's housecondopro.com. And if you just Google me, I take about 7 pages of Google. It's David, the first name. The last name is spelled as Gharat, as in Tom. Being of Indian, Maltese, and Portuguese background, the H kind of remains silent in the last word, so it's Gharat spelled. so might as well remove the H, but there is an H in there, so it's Gharat, and the first name is David.
Got it. Fantastic. David, I just want to thank you very much for just sharing the good news of real estate with us. We really appreciate your time, and we really value your knowledge of real estate. And we know that, I know from you that you're a real estate agent of high integrity. So if you just tuned in right now and you're hearing the latter part of the interview with real estate professional David Gharat, you don't have to worry if you missed the earlier part. We're going to be playing the interview throughout the week on We Are Hotline, and it's on at 11 a.m. to noon, the Nikki Clarke Radio Show, where we're transforming lives one story at a time. It's been a pleasure having David Gharat on the show. We really appreciate you, sir, and we're looking forward to having you live on the Nikki Clarke Show stage in front of a live audience. And I know that everyone there is going to benefit from your incredible information. So thank you again. Have a blessed day, and we'll catch up soon.
Thank you so much, Nikki. It's been an honor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.